Good morning, everybody. So, I saw this image floating around the internet. It's an image of all of the conspiracies and people in power uh, correlating and connecting everything into a coherent sort of map that we can all follow. Um, I don't know if I can share it. I'll share it in the comments afterwards. Or can I do it now? Let's see. No, I don't believe I can do it. But I'll post that image. It's just a giant web of words connecting Epstein, Nazis, NASA, just the whole ball of wax, really, of what people claim um, is happening, uh, like the Illuminati, all of this control. I'm just calling it the labyrinth of control, um, because all these other things, like the Illuminati, uh, or the Jesuits, or you know, yada yada yada, all these different people. It seems like those things are substacks of the larger thing. So I'm just going to be calling it the labyrinth of control. So, all right, I'm popping on here because I can't not talk about this. I was looking at this map, and I was like, okay, if this is real, if we are really being totally dominated and controlled, and all the elite, all the powerful people, all the rich people, all the actors, all the musicians are in on this, and we're just like animals on a farm. What in the hell are we supposed to do about that? So, I've spent a few days collating and thinking on this problem. Because, I think what the labyrinth of control wants is for us to fight. I think it wants us to kill each other. I think it wants us to hate each other and not band together. Um, for lack of a better word, a purple union of some kind that puts aside the tribalism, and we actually start to try and figure this thing out. Because this is not a small problem. If this is real, this isn't something we can just tweet about and feel better. This is a civilizational level issue that affects Muslims, Christians, atheists, communists, capitalists. This is the whole enchilada. Are we living in a maze? And before the comment section lights itself on fire, I'm saying if. I'm not here to prove anything. Like, how can we? This organization is so secretive. How can anybody prove anything? But it's like we can see the writing on the wall. We know there's something not quite right. We know that it feels like no matter what we do, it's never good enough, and and things don't change. They get worse and worse year after year. So if this labyrinth is real, what do we do? Because even if you think only 20% of this is real, that's still too much for comfort. The first move, the very first move that we have to agree on is we don't panic. Don't panic in big friendly letters. The second move is no violence. That's what they want. They want us to thin each other out. They want us at each other's throats. Every time we have a political argument on Facebook, in real life, we decide not to have friends with somebody that thinks differently than us, the Labyrinth wins. And we all lose. The third rule, or the third move, is do not become what you hate. That is my vow on what I call the Mesa of life, so I don't slide off it into oblivion. Because if you respond to a control system by becoming a control system, congratulations. You just moved from victim to assistant manager. There's a center line, what I call the communion kernel, an operating system update for our civilization that can be plugged into any culture. It's an attempt to align reality into non-coercive love. Not soft, not naive, just the only thing that doesn't turn you into an empty man or empty woman. So what is this labyrinth in plain fucking English? It's a hypothetical stack. Layers of influence. Money, narrative, institutions, security, technology, culture. The idea is this. You don't need chains anymore to enslave people if you can build a world where people police themselves, where they fight each other, where they stay confused and stay dependent on the system. The labyrinth doesn't need you defeated. It needs you disoriented. And that's exactly what we all are right now. You don't get conquered by tanks. You get conquered by noise. And you can't lock onto anything as a target. Every labyrinth has a diet. This one eats fear, shame, division, confusion, and the biggest one, spectacle. Outrage is a renewable energy source. And it's what this current world model runs off of. They put solar panels on your nervous system. If you're doom scrolling at 1:47 a.m. whispering, "It's all connected," eating shredded cheese over the sink like a raccoon, you're not a citizen anymore. You are a power plant with anxiety. And I say that lovingly because I have been that raccoon. This is the key. Even if there are bad actors, the real enemy is the pattern. The pattern is this: crisis, fear, obedience, extraction, narrative, division, rinse and repeat. That's the Lord of Nihilism right there. Not a dude in a cape. This is real evil. A system that turns humans into instruments. And the way it wins is not by making everybody evil. It wins by making everybody reactive and non-thinking. Okay. So, let's step into the war room. Let's break out the whiteboard. If the labyrinth is a control stack, and it looks like this: money control, debt traps, monopolies, capture. And then you have narrative control, which is the media, the mimetics, the approved reality tunnels. Then you have institution control, bureaucracy, legal choke points. Then you have force control, surveillance, intimidation, enforcement by the police or the feds. Tech control, platforms, data, algorithms. And then the psyche control, the fear, shame, identity warfare. Now, here's the Mesa counter stack to keep us on solid ground for life to flourish. This is the liberation doctrine. Number 1, economic sovereignty. We have to reduce dependency and build local resilience. Number 2, epistemistic sovereignty. Standards of truth. Evidence tiers. Number 3, civic sovereignty. We have to have transparency, audits, due process. 4, community sovereignty. We have to mutually aid each other. We have to trust one another. We need to value competence again. Network sovereignty. We need cross-tribe coalitions. We can't do this alone. We need to help each other. And finally, soul sovereignty. Nervous system mastery. Compassion. Don't let these labyrinth goons trick you into alienating your own allies. This is how we beat the control stack. You build a counter stack. And you can't do that by screaming into the void, by replacing the inputs. Now, the weak spots of this labyrinth of control. Every system has them. This is not insurmountable. We can do this. Weak spot number 1. It requires your attention. Stop fucking watching it. If you can't be hypnotized, you cannot be steered. Weak spot number 2. It requires your isolation, your alienation of other tribes, of other people that think differently than you. Then your blind spots can be used to abuse you. Maybe without you even realizing it. High trust communities are its kryptonite. Weak spot number 3. It requires your confusion. It requires ambiguity. If people can't adopt evidence standards, if people can adopt evidence standards, the whole fog machine breaks apart. It just flies apart at our feet. Weak spot number 4. It requires compliance rituals, metaphorical getting on your knees or literally getting on your knees. Most control is administered by ordinary people just doing their jobs, just following orders. Change the procedures. Demand the oversight. Things start to shift then. Weak spot number 5. It's complexity brittle. It's so complicated. It's got so many fucking bells and whistles on this labyrinth of control. You can easily clog up the pipes. It's got so many twists and turns in it. More layers equals more contradictions, leaks, rivalries from other tribes within the labyrinth of control, and failures. It can look omnipotent and still be fragile, like a giant, angry Jenga tower that we can just knock down whenever we feel like it. But before we talk action, you got to avoid these traps. The savior trap. One hero is coming. No. 1,000 small stewards are coming. The doom trap. It's hopeless. We can't fight this thing. They're too well organized. They've been doing this forever. They've mastered us. They know psychology. They know sociology. They can just manipulate us all. That is literally the compliance portion that keeps that control stack standing. Next, we have the purity trap. Anyone imperfect is the enemy. This is a big one right now. Who is the purest of them all? Who is the best liberal? Who is the best conservative? That really fucks everything up right there. And that's how alliances die. Next, we have the rabbit hole trap, which I've fallen into more than one time. That trap is infinite research, zero building. Info becomes an anesthetic. You're not learning anymore. You're sedating your agency. If it doesn't increase agency, it's probably bait. Okay, now here is a non-violent offensive on this control stack. Actual fucking steps that anybody can follow if you so choose. Phase 1 is stop being hackable. Everybody is so easily hackable in their minds. Regulate your own nervous system. Stop getting outraged by shit you see on the news and on Facebook. Sleep. Get some sunlight. Take a walk. Train your attention on things that matter around you. If you're jittery, you'll pick up every signal and call it prophecy. Phase 2, stop being divisible. Build local circles of trust. Small, real. And learn the lost art of, hey, we disagree, but we're not enemies. Phase 3, stop funding your cage. Reduce dependency on monopolies where you can. Stop going to Walmart. Okay? We've already lost our shot here in this county. But, you know, for those of you out there that are left in business here, everybody needs to start going there. We need to start supporting local ownership, co-ops, small businesses, resilient supply chains. Debt is a leash. So start clipping it out. Number 4, shine light with standards. Look into FOIAs and public records and local journalism. Like, anybody could start being a journalist and investigate things. You know, I've seen people start doing that around here with the water. Find something that's a problem and start lighting it with your lantern and your camera. We can create evidence tiers here on Facebook. We can cite things. We can do things to correct it. The truth is a sword, but don't swing it drunk. Phase 5. Build parallel good institutions. I'm talking about mutual aid networks, skill guilds, community repair projects. We don't need to wait on permission from Big Daddy government. There are things that we can do here together. Third spaces that make humans human again. That's why I'm working on, for those of you that know, my project. Trying to create this third space where we can all get together, figure it out in reality, and get past this red and blue bullshit. Because lonely humans are programmable. Connected humans are very inconvenient to the labyrinth. If this labyrinth is real, even a percentage of it, it's not just political. This is now spiritual. And that is something every human being can relate to and rally around. And no, I'm not talking about buying some fucking crystals and manifest a Tesla spiritual. I'm talking spiritual like, can you keep your humanity under pressure? Can you do that? A lot of people I see out here, it's a resounding hell no, and we need to work on that and forgive each other for it. I'm willing to forgive if we can come together and go forward. We need to focus on creating exits with dignity and put this shit behind us. And I'm talking real fucking fast. Can you hold on to truth without becoming cruel? Can you resist coercion without becoming coercive yourself? Can you see evil without becoming fascinated by it? Can you build instead of only accusing? This is my Mesa of life exam. And the communion kernel, which opposes the control stack, gives the rules of engagement. Truth with receipts. Or label it speculation. No dehumanizing people. It's got to stop. Don't coerce people as your default with angry language and profanity or getting in people's faces. Build repair and redemption pathways. Like I said, we need to create exits with dignity for the opposing sides. We can't forever just shit on each other. That creates this swinging pendulum effect that is going to knock all of civilization over, and then all of our springs and gears are going to come flying out, and we're going to sit around in the fucking ash of nuclear bombs and wonder what the fuck went wrong. Why didn't we chill out? Protect the vulnerable first. Measure by people's fruits. Does it make people more alive? Free? Does it make people more responsible? If your movement violates those, you're not fighting the labyrinth at all. You're auditioning for a corner office inside of it. So what do we do, like this month, within 30 fucking days? What do we do? In a week, we could tighten our info diet. We could start evidence tier notes, confirmed, plausible, and speculative. In 2 weeks, we could pick one civic lever and pull it. Have a public meeting. Do a records request. Support a watchdog. We could do something real at that point. In 3 weeks, we could build a cross-tribe circle. 3 to 7 people is all it would really take. Calm, truth-seeking individuals. No cult vibes of red or blue. In 4 weeks, you know what we could create? We could create one artifact that increases agency, individuality, autonomy, freedom. That could be a video, a guide, a meetup, a mutual aid note, a skill swap. Something that makes people less programmable. If this labyrinth is real, the antidote isn't one revelation. It is a civilization upgrade. It's a people who can't be baited into hatred. They can't be divided into tribes. They can't be purchased by fear. They can't be hypnotized by spectacle. They can coordinate without coercion and violence, without name calling. They can build local resilience. And they can love reality more than their own narratives. We don't burn the world down and solve this. We make it unbuyable. We don't worship the labyrinth. We don't become the labyrinth. We build a mesa we can all stand upon. There's an old Greek word that I love, phanesthai. It means to manifest with the mind. It means that you believe something so much that you create it. And so I say that all to you now. Phanesthai.